Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Ignite with Mwangala. I am your host, Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Now, this episode is very exciting for me. As you can see, I'm all dressed up in red. And as a young girl, I remember being told that red stood for love. And yes, love is in the air. With Valentine's up ahead, we're talking about love. And to help me discuss what Valentine's is and what love is, I am joined by Rachel Chumia. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy and glad to be here.
I am in red. I see you have a dash of red.
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit. I remember when we were growing up, we were told that red stood for love, isn't it?
Yes.
Though now they say red stands for danger. Which one is it? Is it love or danger?
Well, I think both.
I think
because
both.
the motorists who say red, they'll need to stop at the traffic lights.
Yeah.
But when I'm given red roses, then I know I'm in love or he's in love.
Or somebody is actually, so the two can go together.
Yes.
Dangerously in love.
Yes.
So, Rachel, before we talk about Valentine's, who is Rachel?
Well, Rachel Chumia is a professional journalist, and I'm also an educationalist. I've also done education. I'm also an HIV/AIDS counselor. I'm also an entrepreneur. So I'm into almost everything, a jack of all trades, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I better be careful. I mean, I'm talking to a journalist here. I'm sure you're going to be checking. Is she asking me the right questions? Is her posture correct?
No,
Isn't that what
not
journalists
really.
do?
Of course, we're trained for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I remember, Rachel, you had a stint in politics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I even forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I'm also politicians at times.
Okay.
Yeah. But then that was, I stood under FDD as a councillor. Yes, I was just trying out the waters. So I'm still thinking about what 2021 has for me. If I decide I'm still as a Christian, I'm still praying about it and deciding whether I want to stand as a member of parliament in 2021. I'll have to know which ticket I'll stand on.
You don't yet know the ticket you're standing on?
Not yet.
You're being careful.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about love. What does that mean for you?
Well, love, when we talk about love, God is love. He loves all of us, and he sent Jesus Christ to come and die for us. And then we have different types of love. We have the agape love, which I'm talking about. And then we also have a love that we share between family members. That's a different type of love. And then we also have a love that a male and female share. Then they're able to start a family. But when we're talking about Valentine's, I think maybe we'll be talking about the male and female love.
Okay,
Yes.
so the male and female love is different from the agape love. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So what is agape love?
Agape love is the love of God.
Okay.
Yes, because
Which
that's,
we all have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
which
right.
we're required as Christians to have. Yes, but the male and female love is based on two people. Yes.
So it's only two people. It's not three people or four people, Rachel.
Yes, I think so.
It's two, yeah.
Yes, but I don't know if other people are sharing it with.
With other people.
Yes, that's a topic for another day.
But I like that.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about Valentine's.
Yes.
I know that it's been in existence. I was trying to read up on what Valentine's is. It goes way back as 1415. So what is Valentine's? What is the genesis of this Valentine's, if I may ask?
Well, the genesis is, the different types of myths.
Yeah.
Because they're talking about St. Valentine's. It was a day that the Romans were celebrating it. He had made a certain sacrifice through love and affection. Then that's when they called it St. Valentine's during the Roman Empire. Then it was changed to Valentine's Day. So we honor the Catholic priest, but other people have a different feeling about Valentine's that I wouldn't want to get into.
Okay, yeah, it's for another day, of course.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so don't you think that Valentine's Day has been commercialized? Because, I mean, the whole of this week, everybody spent it. I mean, I had to look for a red dress, the dash of red somewhere. Don't you think it's been commercialized?
Yes, it has been commercialized in some way. Of course, people want to make money out of the whole Valentine's Day, but also I think as a man or woman, if you're in a relationship and you want to show your loved one that you love them, Valentine's Day is not a bad thing, because we also have Mother's Day, because you have Father's Day, we have Women's Day. So Valentine's Day is also a good day because you are in a relationship, you show your partner that you love them all the time, but there's a special day that has been put aside for you to affirm your love for that particular person.
Okay, which happens to be Valentine's.
Yes.
So don't you think if you are in love with somebody, you have to show that you're in love with them almost every day? Should it wait for Valentine's Day?
No. It's not supposed to wait. Love should be shown every day. Like we say, life is short.
Yeah.
You need to show your affection every day. But like what I'm saying, there should be a specific day, like a Mother's Day. Of course, you buy your mother a present all the time and show affection and you tell her you love her. But when it's Mother's Day, when her friends are receiving presents, I think she would also want to receive it on Mother's Day. So Valentine's Day, actually, certain relationships usually even end on Valentine's Day.
I know,
because
right?
you know you're in the office and then you're like 5-6 male or females, and then your friends have gotten a bouquet of roses and then you didn't get it. So you start to compare your partner with other people, even if that's not right, but you start to think, why didn't they send me, why didn't they buy me a teddy bear and all that?
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I know, Rachel, this Friday, everybody is expecting. I mean, I'm expecting, I'm married. I'm sure you're expecting are you expecting, Rachel, before I go any further?
Yes, from numerous admirers. Actually, Valentine's Day was really kind of special at times, where you would also send letters, presents to people you admire, and then you won't even know who they are.
Yeah, and that used to be exciting, if I remember.
Yes.
Now, talking about receiving, I was just asking you whether are you expecting anything. I'm also asking myself, am I expecting something? Let's talk about that, Rachel, because I don't think everybody is going to get a flower or that chocolate or a teddy bear. What do you do in that case?
Well, I think a lot of people know their partners, their partner's strengths and weaknesses, and also how long you've been in a relationship. Because if you've been in a relationship for 10 years and he usually sends flowers and then he doesn't send this year, that would be so worrying. But if you've been in a relationship for 10 years, he's never even bought you one rose flower, so that would be normal.
Wow. So I must think, am I going to expect anything? So are you expecting anything? I know you're dating. Can we talk about that?
Well, I'll be expecting from different admirers. Right now, I don't know if you call it dating, but I'm actually analyzing my suitors.
I like
because I'm not just going to be in any relationship with any Jim and Jack.
That's so strong for the men out there. Rachel is not picking anyone anyhow. So why is that? So how many are they? How many have you lined up?
Well,
and I'm hoping you're picking only one, Rachel.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So how many have you lined up?
I haven't lined them up. They
have lined
pursuing.
Okay.
Yes, they are pursuing me. And then as they pursue me, I speak to them. I analyze what each one of them has, because it's no offense dating, because you're dating, you're getting to know this person before you actually get married.
Wow.
So I'm not rushing into this marriage, but I'm going to be analyzing my suitors. But they are there and I'm analyzing them. And then I'm being honest with them that I'm dating to have a final
choice.
Yes, final choice, and also either it's for marriage, because I'm not going to have a man date me and then, for example, I hear the relationships that go as far as 5, 7 years, 4 years, 3 years. Am I studying to be a doctor in that relationship? So when you meet somebody within 6 to 1 year, they should be able to tell you whether you are their partner.
Okay.
Yes.
Rachel, what are you looking for in these men?
Well, quite a lot.
Uh-huh.
First of all, there should be stability, stability of the mind. Because we're looking at Zambia right now, we're looking at mental issues. So yes, mental health is a serious issue in Zambia. So there are a lot of people going through stress, going through depression. So you really need to know your partner. Is he of sound mind? Before you can be able to look at the financial stability, you can be able to look at other things. So for me, first of all, I need to know, is he of sound mind? Yes.
That is key.
That is key.
Financial standing also comes in.
Of course.
Is that
Financial
important?
standing should be.
Is that very important?
It's very important in a relationship. Like I always advise the young people, I always say love is not enough. Love is not enough. He should be able to be stable. Because if me and a certain man take ourselves and say, well, we love each other. Well, is love going to pay the bills? Is love going to pay the rent? Is love going to pay the school fees? No.
So you mean to say love unanjala siviendelana? Is that what you're saying?
Apparently, yes, that's what they say. But I think for a man who's ready for marriage, who's ready for a relationship, should be able to be financially sound and of good mental health, so that he can be able to take care of this woman. Already we're talking about Valentine's Day. So if he can't even afford one rose flower, how is he going to maintain the relationship? If he doesn't have airtime to call you? That's communication. So everything else will surround around the finances.
I like the way you are just blunt and just bring it out that, love cannot pay the bills. And I think that is very true. And I think that is important for the young girls out there that are listening, that are watching us now, that, you have to look at all this, is he of sound mind? Is he financially stable? Now, I know that you were married before.
Yes, yes.
Would you like us to talk about that?
Yes, we can talk about that. I was married for some years. I have a daughter and a son, and then I got divorced. What led to the divorce is distance.
Okay, like nothing to do with love.
No. It's the distance. Like I always advise the young people and those who are getting married now. And I've seen a lot of that distance marriages where you find your husband is in Mansa and you're in Lusaka. So how do you communicate and how do you have the intimacy? So for me, my husband left for work and then the communication wasn't that good. And then he ended up telling me that, we need to part ways because I'll be here and I found someone. And I was like, well, that's fine. But of course, getting through that was a process. But this is what I always talk about to every woman out there. If you're in an abusive relationship, if your relationship is not going anywhere, you need to develop self-love. Even as we celebrate Valentine's, for those who don't have partners, you can go out there, have a meal, have dinner with friends, and just enjoy yourself. Because it's very important to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, another man will not love you because he's going to take up the way you treat yourself. That's how he's going to treat you. Because in love, you need to set boundaries.
I like that. I mean, you've said something that is very profound, and that's something that we always talk about, especially on this show. You've talked about self-love. You've talked about honoring yourself. You've talked about, because you can only give that which you have. Now, when you say self-love, and I know a lot of people have asked, what do you mean when you say self-love? Because a lot of us are under the perception that we love ourselves. Like, I know that I love myself, but when you say self-love, what exactly are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about especially to the women folk, because a woman is the one who usually sacrifices so much, because one, she puts her career on hold. She's going to love more, and she's going to pay more attention to the relationship than the male folk. Don't think I'm being judgmental, but I'm just talking about the woman who I know, like, because I've interacted with a lot of women. But one, you find a woman, she's getting into a relationship with a man who already has a partner, and then she's accepting to be second best. That you don't love yourself, because why would you want to be with a man who already has a woman? That's one. Two, why would you want to sacrifice your love, your life against your health, because you know that your partner has been cheating with someone else, but you're still in that relationship? In the end, he will call it quits, and then you'll be left on your own with the sacrifices that you have made. So if you, for example, if you're a married woman and you want to go out and study for your master's, your marriage should not keep you home, because you're thinking by the time you come back you find he's already married. I know of a married woman. She went for her master's for 18 months and she came back. They had an agreement with her husband to say, well, I would like to go and study further, and it was a scholarship. So I know a lot of women who've put down tools for either a higher position because of marriage or because of a relationship. But with a man, he's just going to one day come home and pack up and say, I've got a job offer and I'm going, you need to wait.
Okay, so when your husband, you've talked about you being in a distant relationship, and that obviously led to your divorce. Is it something that you talked about with him? Did you both agree for him to go? I know he had gone to Angola, right?
Yes.
So he had gone to Angola for work. Is it something that you agreed?
Yes, actually it was something that we both agreed, because I looked at it like, oh, he's going to be financially stable for the family. So it was an agreement, has a family. So we had agreed that when he goes there, he was going to stay there for 2 to 3 years, then call us. But that did not materialize. Obviously, he found other suitors there.
Wow, you call them suits. Is that what they are called?
Oh, I don't know, yeah. But he must have found other women there. Yes.
Okay, so you call them, something I'm learning, yes. Suitors. So that's what they are called. So before he left, what was your relationship like?
Well, our relationship was a happy home, God-centered. Yes, we were both Christians and we were praying together, planning together, going out to meals, the two of us, not with the kids. It was a good relationship, but actually one thing I can say is that he had 2 years to pursue me. He took 2 years.
To pursue you. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? For those that want to pursue on this Valentine's Day. Start pursuing.
Well, they need to be serious, because if you're a man and you like a certain girl or woman, you need to go after her. And if you know what you want from her, because all of us are women, but we're all different, because we have different strengths and weaknesses. So I think for him, he actually pursued me because I look like, because the first time he saw me, he told me he wanted me to be the mother to his kids and to be his wife.
He already had kids before? Or
No, I meant as in future.
Oh, in the future, okay.
Yes. Okay. So he pursued me. But then the relationship, our relationship was good, distance and all that. But then right now, where we at, with this ex is first of all, I wasn't talking to him, but then now he's come out to talk to me, and then he says, well, there were mistakes that were made.
He's regretting?
Yes, he is.
Do you regret?
No, I don't, because I waited. I waited for him
For how
because actually he was out in Angola for about 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and all this time I told him I was waiting for him and I wanted this to work out. But then eventually I saw that this person was not up to it. Then I finally got officially divorced. But where we at right now is he's sorry for everything that he's done. And
are you giving him a second chance? This is Valentine's.
oh well, I think he got his chance and there are other people on the queue, so he can as well be on that queue.
Rachel. So how many are on the queue, to be precise?
Well, I mean, quite a number. I don't know, I can't say the number, but they're on the queue. Has in wanting to date me.
Okay,
but
three,
4, about four.
About 4
Yes,
on the
but
queue.
yes.
So your ex-husband will be number 5.
Yes. Yeah, but actually I've told them, for me, I'm not getting into this for any chit chats and everything. It should be something serious. And not to mention HIV. Because I want to bring in that because I am an HIV/AIDS counselor. So mostly the young people, even older people, want to start a relationship without going for an HIV test, without knowing the partner's status. And then when they get intimate, things blow out of proportion, then you won't be able to know who has infected you. So for me, these people on the queues, I want to make it clear, I'm not intimate with them. When that time,
None of them?
None of them.
Okay, not until they take their HIV test.
Yes, we take the HIV test
together,
and then decide who is going to be my future husband. Okay. Then I can be able to open up. But for now, because it's very difficult, even for these young girls, because imagine your suitors start coming through at 20, and then you only get married at 28.
Yeah,
so how many men have you slept with in the 8 years?
Wow. That's a very important question to ask. If you're joining us now, I am talking to Rachel and we're talking about Valentine's. As you can see, we're all dressed up in red because love is in the air. Don't go away.
To advertise on this program and enjoy amazing introductory rates, please call us on +260 211 290959 or +260 211 290912 or +260 953 538 000 or send us an email at loyolazam@gmail.com.
Hello and welcome back. If you're joining us now, I am talking to Rachel and we're talking about Valentine's. Love is in the air. So Rachel, before we went on break, you were talking about how important it is for one to have an HIV test before you can actually be intimate. Is that one of the things that you did with your husband before you got married?
Well, I think no. That was like ages ago when HIV wasn't really
so pronounced like it is now.
Yes, on the increase, because now statistics say out of 5, 4 are positive and 1 is negative. But I don't mean to
Rachel,
discriminate.
say that again. So out of 5?
4. 4 could be positive, 1 is negative. Why? Because other people, before this mother-to-child transmission, other people were born with it. So imagine you're 20 years old and the guy is 25. He might have been born with it and then he didn't know. So the family would just give him medication and say, no, these are sweets that you're taking and all that. And a lot of these youths, you find they're getting to know about the HIV status from school. When people go to visit them who are taking the tests.
Yeah.
So it depresses them. So it's also another issue about the family. At what age will they disclose the HIV status of the child?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Now we're talking HIV. We're talking
Yes.
HIV and AIDS,
Yes.
and I know for sure, and I know you will agree with me, that Friday, especially that Valentine's falls on a Friday.
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of relationships that will be breaking, relationships that will be starting, on that particular day. So, what advice do you have, particularly to the young girls and boys out there?
Yeah. But anyway, as an HIV/AIDS activist, I would say I wouldn't encourage these young ones to be having sex before they're ready. One, it's to abstain. And then two, be faithful with your partner. If you can't be faithful, then you need to condomize. So there are 3 stages. One, you abstain. The other one, to be faithful with one partner. And the other one is to use a condom. But then if you don't know your partner's HIV status, you can discuss and go for a test. What used to happen is the time I was doing training at Society for Family Health, when I would counsel people, sometimes you find the discordant couples, which are very common now.
Okay, and what do you mean when you say discordant couple?
Okay, where you find the male is positive, the female is negative. That's maybe husband and wife. So we encourage them to continue to be together, to live together, and appreciate one another, and not to give each other blame games. But it's very important to know your partner's status and to also know your own status.
Okay, now I still want us to talk about Valentine's, which is on a Friday. And I know earlier we said some people will receive and some people will not receive. So I want you to talk to those ones that are very expectant, yet will receive nothing, because that I know that is going to happen.
Yes. Well, yeah, like we're saying, Valentine's, of course, is a day to celebrate love, affection, and just to feel loved. But if you're expectant, and then if you don't receive anything, don't feel bad about it. You can get into the flower shop and buy yourself roses and tell yourself you love yourself.
Yeah, I like
yes,
that.
or buy yourself a teddy bear and tell everybody, well, I bought this myself. And actually, don't be fooled. In these offices, some of these women will be sending themselves flowers.
Of course.
Yes, because an aunt of mine told me, like some years back, she used to work for like Ministry of Works, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So most of these ladies, you find 2-3 people don't get roses, then they'll buy themselves roses and send it to themselves.
And act surprised. Like,
Yes.
"Wow, thank you, he did this for me."
Yes, and then when you go home, you start shouting at your husband.
Like, why didn't you bring the flowers?
Yes, but your friends actually bought for themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like that, Rachel. So, okay. Now, for those ones, for the men also, I think we've left out the men.
Yes.
So let's talk about the men that want to do something for their loved ones.
Okay.
What are some of the tips you can give them? What would we, as women, what would we want to receive, for example, for Valentine's?
Okay.
So let's give the men some tips.
Okay.
Especially the husbands and those ones in serious relationships.
Yes.
What can they do for Valentine's?
Well, husbands, especially those who have a busy schedule, just surprise your wife or your fiancé with dinner, because women love good food.
Yeah, we love to
Yes,
eat.
yes. So surprise her with a meal, one, or buy roses or a rose to tell her you love her, with a small caption in your own handwriting, saying like, "Rachel, I love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you."
Even though you don't mean it.
Of course, husbands,
husbands mean it, yeah.
Yes. And you can buy lingerie for your wives or fiancés. You can buy quite a lot. Chocolate. Women love sweet things. So you can get into one of these shops and buy a box of chocolates. Cake. Women like sweet things, yeah. Yeah.
And for the women?
For the women, I think they're usual, but I think the women also, usually the men are tired of getting these vests, the boxers, the ties, and the socks. So I think
Gets boring, huh?
Yes, let's try to be creative. Let's try to be creative. Maybe you put gas, full tank
For
in
him.
his car. Yeah.
Rachel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think, something, just be different.
I got this guy. Let me do this. full
Yes,
tank.
yes. Just get his car and say, I want to go and see a friend of mine. You just go to the filling station, put a full tank, clean it.
Yeah.
Air
Is that
out the
romantic?
car. Yeah, I think so. With the men. You know, men are different
Yes.
from women.
Yeah.
Men are practical. So, for example, I know of a guy whose girlfriend bought him a cake. Do you know what he did? He took it to the bar and then shared it there. So do you think he really treasured the cake? No, guys are different. They want practical things. Yeah, so if you've heard him talking about something that he wants to buy, maybe a toolbox for the house, I think that's romantic.
For them.
For them, yes.
So because we are differently. I mean,
Yes.
you don't want to bring me pots and say that is Valentine's.
Yes.
I will not get it.
Yeah, because imagine he's got like 10 ties and you add another one.
Yeah, and boxers,
yes,
the usual,
vests, socks.
Yeah. So they don't even see it.
Yes, so let's try to be different.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe taking him out also for a meal and paying for it yourself. That he's going to feel good.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, for once he's not paying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now what about those ones that are pursuing? Those ones that are looking, and there's this young girl that you want. I mean, Valentine's is the right time to show some kind of love for that person, or not even love. Love is the wrong way of using the word, but to show that you actually are interested in this person.
Yes.
What is your advice for those?
I think they'll get a small card, a small writing, then maybe write something inside, wrap it with put a flower in it and have somebody deliver it, because obviously you're pursuing somebody, you know where they live or you know where they're working. So you try that, and maybe that would be the start of a relationship where you even put your phone number there. Obviously, out of excitement, she's going to call you and you're going to have her number. Yes, and then the communication will start from there.
Praying that that lady does not play hard to get like you did for 2 years.
Yes.
For your husband. That was a long time, girl.
Yes, it was a long time. But you know, the generation now is different because they want instant things. But you know, instant Nshima failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything is a process. You're not going to have instant things. This is why love is also misunderstood, because if you tell me you love me when I'm sick, when I don't have a kidney, are you going to be able to give me one? What are you going to do? Because with this generation, we're misusing the word love. Because is it unconditional? When you tell somebody, I love you, when you say you love me, it means you love everything about me. My weaknesses, my strengths, you're going to embrace them.
Oh, wow. So is that your definition of love?
Yes, love should be unconditional. It should be selfless. That is love, because when you're in trouble, I should be able to help. That is love. Because if I say I love you, but I can't be there for you, then that's not love. Love is not love until you give it away.
Oh, wow. So hence loving yourself first, and then only can you be able to love the second person, right?
Yes. So you also, when we're talking about self-love, we're talking about self-esteem, self-confidence. I don't need a man to validate how I look. I don't need to go out there and buy bleaching creams because most men are looking for women who are light-skinned. I am supposed to feel free. I'm supposed to feel loved in my own skin. I'm supposed to feel myself. Then I can be able to give it out. So I should have self-confidence that I'm beautiful, that I'm wonderful, I have a good personality. Then I can be able to affect the next person.
Wow, that is so powerful. I mean, so Rachel, talking about love, are you in love?
Right now, no. Because like I said, the suitors coming through. So I'm still assessing them. So when it gets to the level of after 6 months, then I can be able to know who I'm going to be in love with. Because for me, I don't look at it as in love at first sight. I don't know that. Maybe it happens for other people, but for me, certain traits, certain attitudes, certain mannerisms will make me love that person.
So far, among the 4, nobody is close to what you're looking for?
Well, also I need to trust, because love, trust, they all go together. So the minute I begin to trust one of them, then I'm going to know that this is it.
So you don't trust any one of them? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm learning to, because these are suitors that are just coming through, yes. But then I think there should be one who's getting close to that. But yeah, I'm still assessing him. But he's very hardworking, he's loving, but a bit of the communication, not very good. But one thing I also want to tell the women, with our men folk, they're not very good with communication. So let's try and train them, because if you send a text message, maybe to take 1 hour, 2 hours to reply, but for us, we want instant. But for me, I don't like text messages. I prefer to call and find out something, because sometimes someone can be busy and you take it, they're ignoring you, but then they're in a meeting, and the meeting is 2-3 hours. And then after that, you'll be like, why didn't you pick up? Why didn't you answer? So that's it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, Rachel, we've talked about love. I've learned a lot from you, and I'm sure other people out there have also learned. If you were on your deathbed and you were given a second chance to live, what would you do differently?
Differently? Well, I think that's quite difficult. But I think in life, one thing I know is be humble, respect everyone, no matter their status in society, no matter their financial status, then you are going to get blessings, I think, because I've seen a lot of young people these days, they're lacking respect, even with their parents. A lot of parents are having actually challenges with the children of today. I was actually talking to a psychiatric person, the one dealing with these Chinama. She was telling me that a lot of young people, both the girls and the boys, are abusing the drugs. Yes, so that's one thing that is unfortunate. So I think for me, I really don't have any regrets, because I live my life free and I speak my mind out. Like, I don't even have grudges for anybody, because if I don't like something, I'll say it there and then. I'm not going to wait for tomorrow. So I think life is short. Let's be happy. Let's love one another. Let's show our family members that we love them. Let's tell them we love them. Because actually, I want to go back to the married couples. You find people have been married for 10 years. The last she heard her husband or the wife saying, I love you, was during the honeymoon. This past 10 years, they have not said they love each other.
It's true, because when they say I love you, the next thing is, what do you want? Yes. Just say what you want.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe it's in our nature as Africans.
Yeah,
we don't
show affection.
We don't show affection. We show it in a special way, I think.
Yes.
That's who we are as a people. Is that true?
Yes, I think so. But I think we should show affection, because even in a home, where when the children see you holding hands together, you see them giggling. they're happy. They want to see a happy home. They want to be in a safe environment. It's just the tranquility. So I think when you're having issues with your husband or your fiancés, it's better, or if husbands are having problems with their wives, it's better you sit down, you communicate, and don't involve third parties. But it's also unfortunate, the trend that I have been able to see and interact with, where we are having third people in marriages, where they're even being called side chick. That is an unfortunate incident. No one should be able to be in between the marriage, because as a man, if you're tired of your wife, own up and say the truth. Don't abuse her. Don't let her go through the emotion abuse. I think it's better you sit down and speak to her and iron out the differences. And especially during Valentine's, take advantage, take her out, and spend your time away from home. Wow. I know people say no finances and all that. You can go to any place, make a budget, from January to February. Just set aside something, take her out, apologize, and mend up.
And make peace, okay.
Yes.
What is your truth?
My truth is to live with integrity and to always be a trade setter, especially in my family, with my children, my brothers and sisters, and to live by example, and to be a person of my word. As if I say I'm coming, I will come.
Wow, that's powerful. So as we wind up, as we come to the end of the program, what is your message for the lovers out there?
Well, lovers, what I can say is that I think love each other, honor each other. Love is a beautiful thing. Love is a beautiful feeling. And to be in love, oh, well, it just feels so good. It feels so special. And even when you're in love, when somebody steps on you, you're just going to be looking at them because your mind is just somewhere else. So love is a beautiful thing. Enjoy yourselves, and happy Valentine's to all.
Wow, Rachel, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you, Mwangala, for inviting me.
I hope and pray that you will get one rose or a bunch of roses. What are you expecting? Bunch of roses?
Bunch.
Chocolates?
Yes.
Nice. So this has been Mwangala Chakalashi Santos. Remember, let us make every day count and make this world a better place than we found it. Join me for another exciting episode on Ignite with Mwangala.